question for you. Can happy, successful, and depression coexist? How about could Christian and depressed describe the same person? Well, the answer to both of those questions is yes. I know because I've been all those things. Happy, depressed, successful, all while being a Christian. But how can you live successfully with depression? Well, the first thing I've learned is I need to spend time daily with God. You know, the black hole of depression is right here beside me. I respect it, but I don't allow it to control my thoughts, feelings, or actions. Instead, I spend time in God's Word every day. I learn to be present in today, kind of like this peach I'm holding here in my hand. In Colorado, this season is what's known as Palisade Peach season, and everybody looks forward to it. Well, being present in today is one of the ways that I have learned to fight my depression. You know, I spend time learning from God's Word because it is the only unchangeable truth in my life. When I was really in the depths of depression, it drug me into my past, into things that I could no longer change. I could learn from them, but I couldn't change. But depression had me dwell on that. And then I'd jump into the future and think about, well, what if this happens or what if that happens? And I'd get really anxious about it. Well, the crazy thing about that is I can't control the future either. And most of what I'm anxious about doesn't even come to pass. Talk about wasted energy. But when I spend my time with God every morning, it grounds me. It puts me into unchanging truth. You know, there's days, honestly, when that doesn't happen. And depression wants to beat me up for that. But in those days, I'm learning to give myself grace. You know, I can still talk to God throughout the day, and that's a great thing. The second thing I've learned is to journal my thoughts. This was something that my counselor taught me because my descent into depression was swift and frightening. It felt like I got sucked into a black hole that was pulling me toward an unknown, chilling, and very eerie vortex. I felt numb. My vision actually narrowed as if I was going to pass out. I felt chilled to the bone, and it almost felt like I heard a jailer clang one of those heavy doors behind me. As I learned to process my feelings and my emotions, which were very numb at this point, I started using some journal prompts. And if you're not sure where to start, if you're struggling with depression and you're just not sure how to identify your emotions, I have a free download for you on my blog at KirstenDSamuel.com. That's Kirsten, D as in Diane, Samuel, Samuel.com. It's right in the blog. You can click the link and get that free download. The third thing that I learned was spending time outside lifted my spirits. It might sound crazy, but just the fact of walking outside and standing on your porch or going for a walk in your yard or just walking around if you have beautiful flowers, walking through them will lift your spirits. Another thing that walking does for you when you suffer from depression is that it stretches the long muscles in your legs. And this is scientifically proven that when you go for a walk, doesn't matter how fast you're walking or whatever, but try to shoot for 20 minutes of walking. It will release the feel-good endorphins, which elevates your mood. Besides that, being outside helps switch you from self-focus, which depression wants to get you to focus in on, to an external focus. You're walking around and you're seeing the beauty of creation. You know, for me, living successfully with depression is a daily walk toward health. Honestly, I still have days that I struggle to do what is necessary. I have to stop in those days when the depression is trying to overcome me and do what I have to do to take care of me. Sometimes, if it goes on too long, and I know what that length of time is, I need to seek medical help. You know, if your spouse or family member was having a stroke in front of you, you would not hesitate to call 911. Well, just like a person having a stroke needs medical intervention, so does someone most of the time suffering with depression. There's no shame attached to it. It's not a stigma, even though there's still one attached to it. I hope that a few of these things you can find and apply to your life today. If you need someone just to talk to because you're concerned that you might have depression or you're feeling down or whatever, please send me an email at Kirsten, Kirsten, at KirstenDSamuel.com, or hop over to my website and click the free consultation button. I'd love to talk with you and encourage you today. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Until next time.